Wednesday, October the 8th. It's Jim White, Simon Jordan, and it's Danny Murphy, and we are live on talkSPORT. I wonder if Monsieur Emmanuel Petit is listening over in Paris. He joined us on Monday, and he said, yeah, maybe this time, Arsenal. This could be it. Premier League title. I wonder what Danny's got to say about that, because at the moment, Liverpool have been teetering a bit, have they not, in the last few days? And there's been talk of Mo Salah. Where is Mo Salah in all of this? We'll get to that. In the meantime, we're going to stick to this. We all know that Barry and Eddie, the Hearns, they've done incredible business. And Simon, you're the first to admit it, because Matchroom is an incredible organisation. But now, in the world of darts, and that's very much the Hearns' territory, they're taking darts to Saudi Arabia. The PDC has announced it will stage its first competition in Saudi Arabia on the 19th and 20th of January next year. It will be part of the World Series of Darts, but unlike other events around the world, there will, of course, be no alcohol on sale. So how's that going to look? Darts and everything else that goes with it, this time in Saudi Arabia, and no booze. I asked Barry Hearn this morning, how did that come about?
Saudi Arabia is doing so many different sports, so many big shows, in an effort to boost their tourism and get them more awareness for the kingdom. And it was natural that something like darts, which has become one of the biggest sports in the world, but certainly one of the biggest in Europe, it's natural that they would want to be part of that. And of course, they will bring their own innovation. His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh has done so much for boxing out there, and also has done some snooker. It was only a matter of time before he got his creative head round it, and we'll have to wait and see what the final event looks like. But it's certainly a unique one, isn't it? No alcohol at darts.
Exactly. I'm going to get to that. Is there an appetite for darts in Saudi Arabia?
I don't honestly know. I mean, we're in the business of going all around the world, wherever the best deals are. The players are professionals, so they obviously want to earn money. There's going to be expats there. We do a very, very successful event which sells out in Bahrain in January anyway. So Bahrain will be the first stop, and then Saudi will be the second on the Middle East swing, if you want to call it that. And we'll find out. I think, like most things, most people are educated by television and by social media. I think there'll be a curiosity value, and there'll be expats out there that know what they've got. But as I say, it will be different, certainly different.
The big difference is no booze, no alcohol. Can darts work without the alcohol?
I don't know. I sound as if I don't know very many answers, Jim, so apologies for that. But the answer is, well, we've never tried darts without alcohol, so we've no idea. I don't see any reason why it doesn't, but clearly, will it be the same festive party atmosphere? Probably not. But let's try it and see. You know, the players understand that that is a local region rule, and it can't be broken. There's no smuggling stuff in or, around corners. That's the law, and you will get arrested and potentially imprisoned if you break the law in any country. So we have to adhere to what their terms and conditions are. They will reward us for it. They are supporting our sport, so they deserve our support as well. But atmosphere-wise, you'll have to ask me the day after it's finished.
I mean, it's intriguing, Barry, when you think of it, isn't it? It's like a pub that sells no booze. The darts without alcohol, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. But, I welcome the chance to experiment with these things, because until we do, we won't know. It's interesting, whereas in the old days, Jim, when you and I were young, darts players always drunk, didn't they? I mean, sometimes too much, to be honest, coming out of a pub background. Most of the younger players today that are on the circuit that are coming through don't drink at all. So there is this movement away from alcohol by the players, but of course the fans enjoy the party, and we don't want to lose that. So this is going to be a very interesting experiment. We could fall flat on our face, or we could say we've adapted to the circumstances, and the sport is still good enough to entertain and create an atmosphere without alcohol. Time will tell.
Time will tell. Barry Hearn with me earlier on. Simon and Danny are beside me. So can it work? I mean, it's going to be a whole different atmosphere, is it not, Simon?
Well, if anyone can make it work, it's Barry Hearn, isn't it? In terms of the level that he's brought every single sport that he's been involved in, whether it's boxing, whether it's snooker, whether it's darts. We know the value of darts. We know that some significant people have bought a significant position in Matchroom a significant position in Matchroom, primarily because of the opportunity that darts presents.
Qataris.
And pitch side and their investment, which is in the hundreds of millions into Matchroom, which is where Barry gets his £1 billion valuation from, based upon the criteria that they've bought in at. So we know there's an appetite for it. Whether it will sit in the, I think it's a zero-sum game in terms of losing or winning in this situation, because if the Saudis want to do something with it, why not? You give it an opportunity. We're seeing these dart players, as Barry alluded to. I mean, obviously, there's a point where Luke Little wasn't old enough to drink. Then you've got people like Gerwyn Price that are fitter and much more dynamic. Luke Humphries has spent the last year losing weight, so he doesn't really want to booze himself to Palookaville, does he? There's a new breed of dart player, quite absolutely right. But darts is a very, very hot property. And whilst it might not traditionally land in Saudi the way that we think it has done previously in other parts of the world, I wouldn't be surprised if it's. I wouldn't be surprised, because there is a community in Saudi Arabia, which is the reasons why the Saudis are spending so much money on sport, which is that the under-30s make up nearly 70% of the population of that particular part of the world. There's a move away from fossil fuels, and they want to generate new things in their country. And I would imagine that the younger generation might quite like darts.
Yeah, but hang on. We're going to compare it almost inevitably to the scenes at Ali Pali. I mean, I am not, sober as a judge, going to dress up as a snow leopard. I might have done with a right few drinks in me.
I think the product will suffer in terms of the crowd interaction, the singing, the euphoria that darts creates for the audience. The darts will still be of a really high level, because, as we were talking about there, the players aren't drinking on stage. They'll play to a high level. The facilities will be phenomenal.
But aren't we just in danger of comparing that to the once of the year that most people watch darts?
No, darts all around the year is.
I know it is, but by the same
the Premier League of darts.
By the same token, I
go for it.
I get that, but what I'm saying is why do you think that the audience in Saudi, as different as it may be, might not enjoy it? Have you got full auditoriums in Saudi? Where's your issue here then?
Because it won't be the same. It's not. It doesn't mean it won't generate the same money if the bums are on seats, but the atmosphere will be like the boxing.
Yeah.
You watch a boxing show in Saudi, it's nothing like watching one here. You can hear everything. It's flat.
Very different.
I mean, the boxing is great because they're putting fights together, but the shows I've watched in Saudi, you don't hear any atmosphere. It's like a library.
And here, the darts audience is rowdy.
It is.
It's fun.
And we're not allowed to say that.
You know, it's basically can the sport stand out in its own? Can darts stand out in its own?
Well, that's the big question.
Without that boosted up atmosphere.
I grew up watching darts. Like a kid, watching Eric Bristow, watching John Lowe, watching Cliff Lazarenko, watching Leighton Rees, all these players that were beasts.
Yeah.
And I watched darts because I loved the game. I didn't watch it for the atmosphere. I watched it because I loved the game.
Yeah, but come on, Simon, you were intrigued at the same time holding a pint with a fag in it.
No, but what you're saying, if you're sitting around watching telly, you'd still watch it because you want to see the best darts players.
Correct.
But I'm talking about the longevity of the crowd in Saudi being regular, go back and watch again and create more darts and more competitions. There's not going to be a desire for it.
Well, let's answer the question, because you're talking about atmosphere being a driving factor for it. Okay, you get the best darts players in the world. If there is a seeded belief that the younger generation in Saudi will quite like darts, the atmosphere is our problem. We like a better atmosphere. They don't, right? So they're not bothered about it. So we go to the best boxers in the world, go there. There's no atmosphere according to you, right?
Oh, you've said that as well.
I've said it in the past that the atmosphere is not as good as it is in an English ring, but it's getting better each time they put a fight on. But the fact of the matter is the audience there. So why wouldn't there be an audience there, just in a different way? We might not like it, but their audience is different.
I mean, let's put it out there then. To those who go to Ali Pali on a regular basis, because you love the atmosphere, you love the fact you can have a few drinks, get dressed up and go for it.
Stand on the chairs, get on the tables when there's a 180.
180.
Can you imagine a 9-darter?
How are you going to celebrate that
in
sober as a judge? Well, can you? And would you still go to Ali Pali if there was no alcohol available on the night?
Yeah.
Give us a call on that one. 03717 223344. One thing that's different about the darts, though, and this is quite refreshing, when Live Golf was on the way, it's some of the golfers who joined it, it's all about trying to spread the word of golf to another country, and that country is Saudi Arabia. It doesn't really matter about the big bag of money. Luke Humphries on darts heading to Saudi was at least honest about it.
Honestly, I couldn't care, to be honest. Whatever he wants to do is great, as long as he pays as much as he does for the snooker and the boxing. I don't care. Obviously this is my job. I know a lot of people obviously think that it's not the greatest thing, but I think it's good. I'm happy to play in it, but we're trying to grow the sport around the world, and Saudi Arabia is, seems to be this new hotspot. Boxing have taken for it, snooker's taken for it, darts obviously now. So yeah, I don't really have too much input about it all, to be honest. I'm just, if I'm picked, I'm there, wherever it is. If it's there, if it's Japan, if it's South Africa, if it's Australia, I go, so I don't really have much input, to be honest. But we can only but see what happens in January. If it's a good success, then it's great. If it's not a success, then who knows. But yeah, I'm just going to turn up, be there, and hopefully there's £1 million for the winner.
Show me the money.
He's making no bones about it.
My job is I'm a professional sportsman, not a professional flag waver. That's what I do. I go and play sport.
Yeah.
I don't ask to be in the political arena. I don't ask to light upon causes that I then can't follow up, as we've seen with people like his mate, Jordan Henderson. They can't stand the pulse of time when it comes to actually putting themselves in the way of it and having some actual consequences for it. So the reality of it is I'd like to hear that. Get on with playing sport. That's what you're there for.
Do you know when you watch the boxing in Saudi, for example?
Yes, Danny.
I've never seen so many people not looking at the boxing, on their phones, chatting and stuff. I honestly,
why are you focusing on them?
Because that's what we're comparing it to. Because Saudi audiences is what we're talking about.
Well, it's a fair point, Danny. We're trying to get this image in our mind of what would darts look like from an arena in Saudi Arabia where there is no alcohol on sale.
Let's ask people, because one of the things when you watch the darts, and I know this doesn't make ticket sales when you're watching it on the telly, but when there's a $9 or a 180 and the crowd go berserk, you join in with that as a viewer.
Yeah, but what we're saying is we're in danger of superimposing what we think works in this country, which we know works, but that's not the audience in Saudi.
So you think they'll have
the question is, do they want darts, and how will they watch it? And if the answer is they like it and they're quite happy to watch it in reverence, and all they hear is thud, 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 and that's happy for them, then what difference does it make to us? We have our brand of darts where we have a raucous crowd with a certain Western attitude, and they have a different set of sports.
The question is, does it create longevity of darts in Saudi by having that?
Well, who cares? They go over there and do a few tournaments, make a few quid, and come back again. Nothing ventured, nothing lost.
I think the question is this: imagine it here. The alley pally with no booze.
We don't have
would
to,
darts
do we?
work? Would darts work? But would you still go? That's the bottom line.
Well, they're not going to go to.
See, this Christmas and New Year, the World Championship at the alley pally, there'll be no booze on sale. Nonetheless, would you still go and dress up?
But they're not going to fly over to Saudi, are they?